Hi, in this video we are going to solve some puzzles. They're called night knave puzzle. So in this puzzle, uh, there are like two types of inhabitants or whatever persons we can say, and one person out of these talk only the truth, the other type talk only the false. So so there are like number of inhabitants or persons, and they all speak some sentences, and we derive through the sentences and make out who is telling the truth, who is lying. So let's try to solve some of these puzzles. Very logic heavy, but no worries, we are not going to solve. uh, we are we are solving easy difficulties. Okay, so speakers, I would like to limit it to 4 for it to be easy. Otherwise, cranking it up will make the puzzle difficult to solve. So 4 is a good starting number. So we'll skip here. The puzzle should have only one unique solution for me. We can have different solutions as well, but that's going to become more complicated. So I will make it one unique solution. I would not like to name the inhabitants. Let the uh, app decide the names itself. So no. It's a puzzle. So there are 4 persons, and they're speaking some sentences, and by reading them and analyzing the sentences, we have to make out who is telling the truth and who is telling the false. Matthew is saying that exactly one of us is a knave. Okay. Chris is saying first and last of us are knaves. First and last of us are knaves. Okay. Gracia is saying this puzzle is unsolvable. Felix is saying at least 3 of us are knaves. Okay. So Gracia, this puzzle is unsolvable. The puzzle is solvable. So she's lying. So she's telling the false. So Gracia is a knave. Then at least 3 of us are knaves. Exactly one of us is a knave. Okay, if Felix is knight, like if Felix is saying the truth, at least 3 of us are knaves. It means Matthew, Chris, and Gracia should be a knave. Gracia is already a knave. Chris is a knave. Exactly one of us is a knave. Yeah, so the puzzle is working out like Matthew is a knave, Chris is a knave, Gracia is a knave, Felix is the knight. So Matthew is knave, Chris is knave, Gracia is knave, Felix is knight. Valid solution, right? Yeah, let's play again, and this time I will try to analyze. I will explain it in detail. Yes. Speaker 4. Skip. Yes, I want it to be unique solution. I don't want to name them. There are a prime number of knaves. Okay. Laura is saying that. Tim is saying a knight would say that Tim is a knight. Okay. So here's the thing. Tim is saying a knight would say that Tim is a knight. If Tim is a knight, if Tim is a knight will say that Tim is a knight. So Tim is a knight. If Tim is a knave, a knight would, if Tim is a knave, a knight would say that Tim is a knight. What? A knight would say if Tim is a knave and he should lie, so a knight would say that Tim is a knave. That what that's what a knight would say. But Tim is a knave. So knight would say that Tim is a knight. Is also true. So we don't know Tim is a knight or knave. For now. Ariana is saying Tim and I are the same. Okay. Chris is saying Chris and I are the same. Yeah. Chris and I are the same. So definitely Chris is knight because Chris and I are the same. And that's true. Chris is a knight. Okay. There are prime number of knaves. So prime number means 2 or 3. So if Laura is knight, Chris is definitely a knight, Laura is a knight. So there should be 2 knaves. So Tim is a knave and Ariana is a knave. Then Tim and I are same. So Ariana becomes knight. That contradicts. So Laura cannot be a knight. Laura is a knave. And when Laura is a knave, we can either have 1 knave, not 2 knaves or 3 knaves. So Laura is a knave, Chris is a knight, Tim is knight, Ariana is knight. Laura is a knave, Tim is a knight, Ariana is a knight, Chris is a knight. Let's play again. 4. Unique solution. Okay. Exactly 2 of us are knights. Arman is a knave. Sid is saying either there are prime number of knaves or Matthew is a knight, but not both. Okay, we have to assume. We have to assume some of the persons here are knights or knaves. So let's assume Arman is a knight. Exactly 2 of us are knights. Arman is a knight, and there should be 1 more knight, only 1. So if Matthew is a knight, and Matthew is saying that Ariana and Arman are same, so there will become 3 knights. So when Arman is knight, Matthew cannot be a knight. So when Arman is knight, let's assume Ariana is knight. When Ariana is knight, she's saying Arman is a knave. That's not possible. So when Arman is knight, Matthew and Ariana cannot be knight. So Sid has to be knight. And what is Sid saying? Either there are prime number of knaves or Matthew is a knight. Matthew is not a knight. So there are definitely prime number of knaves. Yes, there are two knaves. So Seth can be a knight, and Seth is saying that either Matthew is a knight, Matthew is not a knight, or there are prime number of knaves. Yes, Ariana and Matthew are knaves. 2 is a prime number, but not both, right? So Arman is knight, Ariana is knave, Seth is a knight, Matthew is a knave. So very good game. Um, we can crank up the difficulty to challenges and to get a even